Welcome to another What's Current podcast from NAPIT, and today I'm joined by a prestigious guests that are from the Electrical Safety Roundtable. My name's Steve Humphreys. I'm going to be the host, and I'm joined by Chris Pack. I'm joined by Charlotte Bamba and also Frank Bertie. So guys, thanks for agreeing to do this podcast and talking about the Above and Beyond Award 2024. So guys, just to start off then, tell us a little bit about yourselves in your day-to-day roles and what you do. So Chris, we'll start with you. What are you up to these days?
Well, hi Steve, thanks for that. My name's Chris Pack. I am chair of the Electrical Safety Roundtable, specifically in the home group. I'm actually semi-retired these days, but previously worked for more than 40 years in manufacturing. And that was specifically in the area of electrical circuit protection devices and the associated distribution panels of the type installed in both homes and commercial buildings.
Oh, wow. So happily retired now. And I noticed that lovely beach in the background as well. We talked a little bit about that earlier, Chris.
Semi-retired, but yeah.
Yeah, I was semi-retired. Sorry, semi-retired. Yeah, you can't give it up just yet.
No, definitely not.
and Charlotte, we've met on numerous occasions in different guises. What's your current role? Tell us what you're up to.
Thanks, Steve. I work for a not-for-profit organisation, ETT SparkSafe, and really we work to improve quality and raise standards within the electrical industry locally in Northern Ireland. As a charity, we dedicate our time and resources to working with employers, individuals, professionals, really trying to get them to improve their knowledge, enhance their skills and improve their competence. We provide training, we provide skills assessment, advice, guidance, and we also manage a licence to practice system. And enhancing electrical safety and standards really is at the heart of what we do and my role. So it's an honour and a privilege to be involved in the awards that the ESR are running around electrical safety.
Thanks, Charlotte. I should have asked what don't you do then, shouldn't I, really? Because I know you're really extremely busy in your role.
Yeah.
And Frank, or boss, as I should call you on this podcast, Frank, tell us a bit about your role.
Yes, I'm the Chief Technical Officer in NAPIT, and I've been involved since the start of it, since 1992, so 32 years this year. My role is looking after all things technical within NAPIT, and we look after quite a range of different membership schemes, from electrical through to renewables and building fabrics, and we have just over 18,500 members, and looking after making sure they carry out compliant work in whichever activities they do, primarily electrical, and that's why we got involved in the Electrical Safety Roundtable, and it's great producing the awards for this to promote electrical safety in the home workplace and making sure everybody is safe and gets home safe.
Thanks, Frank. So moving on to the Electrical Safety Roundtable, you know, some of our listeners might not have heard of that group. Chris, perhaps you could tell us a little bit more about what it is and the work it does.
Okay, Steve. Yeah. Well, basically, we're a leading industry forum, uniting a diverse range of experts in their field, behind the common goal of improving electrical safety in the home and also in the workplace. We have two specific groups, that's the home and in the workplace. So through specialist research projects, constructive debate and expert advice, we strive to shape the agenda in this important area for the better. Our guidance helps consumers make informed decisions about electrical safety, whilst our research and discussion helps to inform government and the wider industry.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, it's got a government agenda there to drive that change as well, which is fantastic, isn't it?
Absolutely. And yeah, our meetings do involve representatives from government bodies at those meetings.
Yeah, and I know as part of my role working at NAPIT, you know, obviously I've been involved in one of those meetings, and it's fantastic to be part of, to see how passionate, especially you guys are about, you know, safety in the industry, in the home and the workplace. That's fantastic. Thanks, Chris. Now, moving on then, perhaps to a little bit more about the awards. These awards are obviously really important to the industry. So, Frank, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about the awards, how they came about, how long they've been running.
Well, the awards came about with the Electrical Safety Roundtable in the Workplace group, because we wanted to promote electrical safety, mostly in the workplace. It was a case of we do a lot of guidance documents within the roundtable on making sure it provides how people can operate electrical systems safely in the different environments working between the home, workplace and social housing. But the awards came about because the group wanted to promote electrical safety further within the participants of the Electrical Safety Roundtable and the wider stakeholder group, to allow them to promote participants and candidates who had good promotional material about how they create electrical safety in the different environments, primarily in the workplace. But it's all about promoting electrical safety and how we can shape that environment and how people can be congratulated on the work they do to make sure electricity is safe in the workplace, no matter where it comes from.
Yeah, and I think that's key, isn't it, guys? Because what you sometimes see, especially in the electrical industry, is we always hear about the horror stories and the things that go wrong. But it actually, it's important that we sing praises of organisations that are doing things well in our industry to make sure, that is shared amongst people. So they say, oh, okay, yeah, we may have things go wrong, but look at these people that are making initiatives to make things go right. So I think that's really good. And how long have they been running, Frank?
This is the second year they've been running.
Second year.
So we started the first off, and we had the awards. We've got 4 sets of awards as we go through there. So we've got 4 categories, and the first one is for Product of the Year. So this is all about how products are used to make electrical safe in the workplace and different environments, and it's looking to see how particular products can enhance safety. Now, whether it's from safe equipment to safe products to safe environments, that's what's all looking about in that side of it. The next one we have is the Electrical Safety Initiative of the Year, and this is now titled this year in memory of Paul Skirm, who was a great advocate of the roundtable. He was a member of it and a great promoter of electrical safety in that, and I could touch on that later on. So that one's looking at how any organisation promotes initiatives about electrical safety. Then we've got the Changemaker category, so how an individual, what he's gone beyond and it's a category Changemaker of the Year, what goes beyond the requirements for electrical safety and more than just what they have to do in their work as a normal thing. They go above that category and make sure they do positive things for electrical safety. Then we have the Industry Service Award, and that one is in memory of Derek Thompson, who was also quite active in the electrical industry, and Charlotte's going to touch on what Derek meant to the industry and how much influence he had on the electrical safety within the electrical sector.
Thanks, Frank. So we've got these 4 categories, obviously, all working towards that above and beyond in products, innovation, and like you said, the rest of the categories. But Chris, coming back to you, we talked a little bit earlier, perhaps about the awards from last year, where you mentioned there was an award for an initiative that you were really proud of, that we need to sing about. Was it to do with the Housing Association? Could you tell us a bit more about that winner?
Yes, in fact, it was, Steve, it was with South Tyneside. So I'll start again. It's with South Tyneside Homes, and they won the Electrical Safety Initiative of the Year, and they titled it Post-Occupancy Electrical Safety Check. And they were awarded, they were given the award basically where electrical inspections are arranged 1 to 2 months after a tenancy begins. The judges agreed that the development and implementation of a structured solution following the identification of an increase in electrical-oriented domestic fires was highly successful, and the initiative helped improve awareness of electrical safety through greater customer engagement. And so they obviously identified this problem and actually engaged with the tenants themselves and helped with training, etc. So it was two-way. So it was a very good initiative.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like you say that is definitely above and beyond, because if you think about normal electrical checks, sometimes not even done at all. If they're willing to go in that often post tenancy, to make sure that the tenant is safe, that is a fantastic initiative. It must have been a bit of a cost and resource for them as an organisation. Yeah,
I would, yes, but it probably saved them a lot of money in certain respects as well.
Yeah, true. But yeah. Wow, that is great. And Frank, you touched on earlier there about two of the award categories have got quite moving tributes, like you say, to Paul Skirm and Derek Thompson. So you knew Paul personally, Frank, and worked with him. Was he a big advocate of these kind of awards and seeing safety in the industry?
Yes, he was involved in the initial creation of these awards and setting the categories when we went through it all. And he was quite active in the machine industry and making sure safety of products in that environment. And I've worked with him for years. He was a NAPIT member, and he did work quite extensively promoting safety in here. And like I said, he was involved in the Electrical Safety Roundtable. He was part of the group that created the awards and built in the categories and went through the process of it. And he was involved in the judging of the awards from last year. So he was heavily involved in it, and he is a great loss to the industry for a man such as Paul, where he did a lot of promotion, a lot of personal time. He went through events, and through his illness, he did carry on campaigning and turning up at events all around the country to make sure people understood the need for electrical safety. And it is a great shame that we lost him, because he was well known throughout the industry from a lot of people in the industry.
Yeah, not only lost a lovely person, like you say, that knowledge, it's invaluable, isn't it? Someone that passionate about the industry as well. And Charlotte, I am moving on to Derek Thompson. Obviously, you knew Derek, and tell us a little bit about sort of his journey and his influence on the industry.
Yeah, well, we worked with Derek quite closely here. I worked with him for over 20 years, and February 2022, he sadly passed away. Not only a loss to us, but the electrical industry as a whole. Similar to Paul, he was widely known for his contribution to promoting electrical safety and standards. He was ECA Edmondson Apprentice of the Year. He was a JIB electrician. He managed a large contracting company here in Northern Ireland. He was an ECA branch chairman, and more recent was known as the chief executive of ETT and SparkSafe. He had a vision of how the industry should be. He wanted to see the success, the development and improvement of the industry. He championed the level 3 apprenticeship training, the importance of having qualified electricians on projects, construction and maintenance projects, and how we could improve the industry by removing the risks of unqualified workers. So he touched a lot of people, many lives, as I say, both here and throughout the UK. And we are proud to have his legacy remembered through the award. And I think it's a great way to kind of promote the commitment to and his dedication to improving the industry as well. So it's a really proud for us and his family to have the award named after him, and that be recognised with others within the industry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Charlotte, that legacy lives on, doesn't it, with both Paul and Derek, because they'll always have those awards attached to the name to remember them and the work they did. Thanks for that, guys. I know that stuff like that can't be easy because it's quite personal. So moving on to a bit more of a generic question, feel free to chip in whoever wants to. How do you feel these awards then, we don't want to just give awards out for awards' sake. How do you feel the awards like this can really influence safety in our industry? Who wants to go on that one?
Well, Steve, I think it's an excellent means of actually sharing best practice across the industry. So it's lovely to recognise award winners, but the benefit of that is that we get the opportunity to actually spread the news of what they've done, and it spreads best practice across all the industry. I think that's a key one for me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Chris. Yeah, we've got to share best practice. A bit like I said earlier, we don't want to share all the horror stories. We want to share the good stuff that's going on in the industry. Charlotte, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say the same. It's kind of sharing best practice, but learning from others. And I know people can be a bit backward in kind of putting themselves forward. But what I would say is if you have contributed to or have developed a product or have done something in terms of an initiative, it's important that you do share that so that others can learn from it. And ultimately, it's not just about electrical safety, it's about saving lives, which potentially sharing your kind of experience or your knowledge or your skills can do. So really, I would encourage people to take that step and apply either for themselves or for someone that they work with or someone that they know has contributed significantly to electrical safety.
Yeah, you make a really good point there as well, Charlotte. You know, it's not only safety, but we've got to think in terms of the severity of it. You know, if we have serious injury or fatality, that's what we don't. Well, you know, 1-2 is too many in our industry, isn't it? Yeah. Frank, what about you? How do you see the influence of the awards in our industry?
Well, I think you're right as well. There is so many horror stories out there which are in a minority. There's a lot more people doing things correctly and safely, and they don't get the promotion or the recognition of the support they do in making sure people carry things out safely in the electrical industry. Everybody does it every day and make sure they do it safely. It just is, unfortunately, the bad apples get the press, they get the promotion, whereas everybody works in the industry, they work safely from the apprenticeship stage or learning stage, whichever they turn around, they learn things correctly, carry it forward and keep pushing the safety initiative throughout their working life. And unfortunately, a few bad apples spoils that image and gives it the impression that the electrical industry aren't interested in safety, which we are. And everybody involved in it is interested in making sure people are safe, they can get home safely, the jobs are done correctly, and not only those working in industry, but those using the electrical installations, electrical products, work safely with them and are protected throughout the lifetime of electrical installations and electrical products.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, Frank. I think, yeah. You know, it is the minority. I think the majority of people working out in the industry, you know, are doing the best and doing it safely. And that's what we're championing, isn't it, with these above and beyond awards. So finally, then, if we want to know more, we want to nominate, we want to apply, where do we get this information from? What's the format for finding out more and getting someone nominated?
So we have on the Electrical Safety Roundtable website, there is a category for the Above and Beyond Awards, and it gives you the listing of the judging criteria, which is 5 points on there, which is one is evidence of enhancing and improving electrical safety. The second is originality and creativity. Third one is commitment to enhancing electrical safety. Fourth is benefit to workers, consumers and public. And the fifth is the quality of supporting documents and verifiable evidence. That's what we're looking for in the awards. And the awards have a facility on the website where you could apply online. You've got Microsoft Forms online, which you can submit the information regarding who you're going to nominate. And there's various, in each category, there's a form for each category. Nominate through the process, put it in, then you need to provide some supporting evidence along with that as well.
Okay, so it's an online process, not overly complex for people to apply.
It works on the website. You could do it on your mobile, tablets, any place you are. You could submit information on there.
And that's on the Electrical Safety Roundtable. They can website, get onto there, point them towards the awards.
Yes.
Brilliant. Well, Chris, Charlotte, Frank, thanks so much for your time today and agreeing to do the podcast. I think it's been really useful for a promotion of the organisation itself and obviously the awards. So yeah, thanks for your time today. And so everyone, just thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed that. And what we want you to do now is get onto the website, get applying, get nominating people, and hopefully we'll have lots of these guys judging the competition. We'll have lots of criteria to run through to be able to decide who are the worthy winners. Thank you for listening.